wrong with you? Bro, tell me why I just got catfished. Wait, what? You got catfished? My life is over, man. Come on. Your life ain't over. Bro, I was on Tinder. I got the girl number. I'm over here thinking, yeah, man, finally finna meet a girl that's, that's real, that's open, that's honest, actually filling out a bruh. But then I go over and, nothing like I thought, man. Nothing. Your life ain't over. Man, it's the one that stays off of 34th and Brock. Ooh. Hold on. Right. That one. Turns out she's a total fake, bro. Like I should have known from the picture that something was wrong with it. But I guess me being as nice as I am and whatnot, and not as popular as you are, I think to myself, you know what? Yeah, I'm just kind of confuzzle-gasted at the moment. Not confuzzle-gasted. So, you gonna get back out there, get back out there on the dating app? No. I'm not a big fan of dating apps, man. Not anymore. I want to be able to FaceTime you or meet you in person. You got a time limit on you, whether you know it or not. Oh yeah? Yeah, that's how I advocate it. I'm keeping my Tinder, man. I love it. Alright. You keep on being on Tinder. You're gonna mess around and meet somebody that look like a girl, but might be something else. Man, please. Alright, bro. I'm gonna order me a pizza. You want one? Yeah. Pepperoni. Bet. What's going on, fans? This is your favorite doctoral student, your favorite English teacher, your favorite everything right about now, Mr. Verdi L. Coleman III, and this is a special edition of Road to the Doctorate. Yes, it's part of the main series, but I really wanted to hit some emphasis on this particular first of something because I've been on Clubhouse. I've been talking a lot about different dating experiences, and the topic of online dating came up, and I wanted to tell my story about the first time I got catfished. And this is a heavy one because I was in college when this happened, and some of my friends don't know this. Some of my closest friends don't know this, but this is one of those ones where it's sensitive. That's all I'm gonna say. And this is not to degrade anybody or make anybody feel bad about such and such things. This is just a true honest experience. This was 22, 23-year-old me back then. So you gotta respect the time. So I was getting a little frustrated with the dating scene because I was the kind of person that I wasn't popular unless somebody needed a paper, written, or somebody to help with a paper. I wasn't just this dude that everybody wanted to talk to. So I figured online dating would be, good for me. And so Tinder had just came out. It was a brand new dating app. It was popular. It was popping, and everybody getting on there. They finding, people that they could talk to, things of that nature. And I thought to myself, I said, I've never been a fan of online dating, but maybe this wouldn't be so bad. This would be, pretty doggone awesome. Well, I got on, I was swiping right on a lot of people, swipe left on some, and I know some people swipe left on me too. I mean, back then I wasn't exactly the most popular dude. So I swiped right on a few and got some matches, but then come to find out they were like either bots or they were too far away, or they really just weren't interested in a guy like me. They saw I look good on paper, but when they talked to me, I wasn't the type of guy that they wanted to deal with. So I swiped right on this one girl, and she was a baddie. Like, she was well put together. Her bio was beautiful. Like, she was working. She was already working. She was like in her career field, and she lived within the area. So I go and message her, and we already matched by this point. And so I messaged her, she messaged back, and I'm showing my homeboys, I'm like, yo man, this girl like hit me up and everything, man, like she a baddie. And I'm showing her, I'm showing them her. And I was like, man, she is bad. I ain't never seen her before. I was like, shoot, neither have I. So a couple weeks, like 3 weeks go by, exchanging information, getting to really know each other. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see where it can go. I want to see, could I establish some kind of bond with her? And so she invites me over. And I tell the fellas, I'm like, yo, she invited me over, man. Like, what do I do? Do I like to say yeah? Because remember, 22, 23-year-old me is awkward. I was awkward back then. So they was like, they giving me advice about how to, navigate being at a girl's house and things of that nature. And I felt like I had been coached pretty well, because I have some of the greatest guys for friends. They helped me get through a whole lot of stuff. Dating should be, no biggie. And I'm not sure how I still managed to make it out of all of this, but here we go. So I go over there, and she left the door like unlocked for me to come in, so I can kind of like just make myself comfortable and whatnot. And so the TV was already on, and I'm not sure what was on it. I just I felt like it was interesting. And so the girl comes out the shower, she puts the clothes on, and she comes to the kitchen. And she's behind the bar area, and I turned finally to give her some attention. But all the time that I was waiting on her, I seen pictures of a dude inside the apartment, and I'm like, am I supposed to be like the side dude or something, or am I auditioning to be the side dude? And I just decided to ask her a question. But before then, my spider sense was kicking in. Like, it was like, it literally was like ringing off the hook. And I'm like, why is it ringing off the hook? Like, I'm in peace. I'm about to ask a question just to get clarification. That's all it was. So I asked her, and she said, no, that wasn't her boyfriend. And I was like, okay, is it your brother? And she was like, no, silly. And sure enough, I never wanted to experience this, but I did. So I looked at her, and I looked at the picture. I look at her again, and she finally was like, I have to tell you something. And nowhere in the history of Blackadom is that ever good. In this case, it was worse. I found out that she was formerly a he. And she's pre-op. Now, me at 22, 23 years old, I had never experienced this before. I was traumatized by it. And it left me in a state of mind, it left me in a state of shock. And I've recovered from it since then, but that night I didn't handle it well. I texted my friend, be like, hey, call me so I can have an excuse to leave. Like, I need to get out of here now. This girl is a dude, she's pre-op with me. She still got the tools that we got. Like, I was terrified. And most people would look at me and be like, oh, you shouldn't have done this, this, and this. But eventually, you know, about a week later, you know, I finally, you know, choke up the nerve to, you know, call her and let her know, be like, hey, I'm sorry that I ditched you the way I did, but I have to tell you the truth. You know, I was terrified that night, and if I had showed you the expression on my face, like told you my true intent, you probably would hate me and you probably would vilify me. And so she told me, she said that she's not bothered by it at all. She understood that I was in total shock, and she wished me well. And I haven't really been a big fan of dating apps since then. I've used them, but I'm more cautious now. Like, I want to be able to know everything there is to know about you before, you know, wanting to like meet up and whatnot. I want to know that you're real. I want to know that, you know, you are what you are, like you was fully what you are, because, you know, things like that, if there had been a different person, you know, it could have went bad. And so I always talk about, you know, a friend of mine who was killed because, you know, he became a she, and she was killed because the dude didn't understand exactly what she was. Like my experience, the guy that turned to a girl was pre-op, and she was in the midst of getting the surgery to get the proper genitalia for it, but she never made it because the guy killed her. And that's why I always say, you know, be very careful around people that will act that way. You know, if you're around somebody and you feel like that they're not going to be honest about who they are or what they are, 9 times out of 10 there is a good reason why they're afraid to tell people the truth up front. But at the same time, you gotta know the difference between people who just want to catfish you and people who are just afraid of, you know, the response that they get. So catfishing is never good, but realize that you need to be able to have those honest conversations with people, and both sides must be mature enough to be able to handle the information that is coming on both sides. That's what makes online dating work. That's what makes any relationship work. So please, if you use dating apps, please be careful. Please don't judge the other person for, you know, for what they are, for what you see and what they tell you. You know, don't judge them. You know, tell them you have your preferences, but don't judge them. Don't make them feel bad about, you know, being who they are, because, you know, that could be the person that you may have to answer to one day, or that could be the person that could very well save your life, or that person you may need to save your life. So with that being said, the season finale is coming. Episode 8 will be the season finale, but in between this episode and episode 8, episode 7 is going to be a hard hitter as well. It's going to involve a very unique experience that I've had in college, and I want people to be able to really take it all in, to be able to, you know, find the motivation to keep going. So this has been another Silvertone production. God bless. Stay safe, mask up, drink water, and be happy.